Hey guys, so in this video I want to show us how to cut the bodice of this dress. So first of all, choose a basic bodice pattern of your choice and make sure you draft it on fold. So once you do that, we'll now look at the bodice critically. The bodice is divided into two parts. Okay, so you link your bust point to your mid shoulder. Okay, bust point to mid shoulder like that. Now the bodice is divided into two. You have the upper part of the bodice and then the lower part. So we want to determine the where the lower part will start from, and we'll be picking the chest line. Okay, so from the bust point, we're going to tighten the chest area. Okay, so you can do between 0.5 inch and 0.75 inch. That's quarter, 3/4 of an inch. So you mark 3/4 of an inch on both sides of the line that divides the shoulder line. Okay, so same thing on the other side. Okay, but for this pattern I'll be using 1/2 inch because this person is a small size. The bust measurement is I think 32, so 1/2 inch on both sides is enough for this measurement. But if your bust circumference is from 36, 38 and above, then you can just stick to the 0.75. Okay, so I'm linking it back to my bust points. Can you see that? Then I'll link it back to the shoulder. You see what I did? Now on the other side, I'll link what I marked to the bust point and to the shoulder. It's very simple. Then I'll just shade here so that I'll know that I'm cutting that part out. Same thing on the other side. I'm marking 1/2 inch on both sides. Okay, and then I'm just linking it down like that, and then back to the bust point. It's that simple. It's very simple, because if you don't do this, if you just cut out the yoke, it's going to have gaping. Now I'm using my curved ruler to blend any form of sharp edges around the bust point. Okay, like that. So you can use your French curve to equally do this. Yeah, so once you do this, okay, the next thing is to cut the neckline. Okay, and then we'll draw the shape of the yoke. So obviously the yoke is asymmetrical in nature. Asymmetric means that it's not equal on both sides. Okay, so to draw the yoke, you need to first of all fold your dart like this. So at the end of the day, we're not tampering with the shoulder measurement, but we're just taking in excesses. Okay, so you fold in your dart like so. You can use a masking tape, but I don't want to use it because I'm still going to open it up. I'm still going to open the dart up. So once you fold it like this, then we'll go ahead to draw our yoke. But before we draw our yoke, we are going to draw our neckline and cut it out so that the yoke is not too far from the neckline. Okay, so now I'm going to fold my pattern paper into two, and then before I do that, I'll come down by about 1 or 2 inches from the shoulder line. Okay, so now I've folded my pattern into two like this, and then I want to cut out my neckline. Yeah, so for the neckline, you can do 3x3, 3x4, whatever suits you. So you can see from the video, I have drawn the style line for the yoke. You can see that, but make sure your dart is folded before you draw the style line for the yoke like that, and then the other side all the way down. You see what I did there? So once you do this, you open up the dart and then you begin to cut. Okay, so I'm taking off my waist dart like that. Then of course I'm going to cut towards the armhole. Okay, like that. I'll cut it towards the armhole, and then for me, I always use the bust dart in my bodice. Okay, so I'm still going to close the bust dart, and then this is the other part of the yoke on this side of the bodice. I'm trimming off the excess on my shoulder. Basically, I'm just trimming out all the unwanted parts. Okay, so like I said, you open up the dart like this, and then you trim it out. Meanwhile, we don't need all of that because obviously that is the part that will be opened on the blouse. So I'm just trimming out all the excesses, and I'm also going to be closing the bust dart. Okay, so once I do this, next thing is to convert this to a basque pattern. So how do I do that? I'm going to put all the front pieces together. Okay, yeah, so once I put all this together, I'm going to use my sellotape to close the bodice. Okay, so this is how it looks like before converting it into a basque pattern. So now I'm going to close this with my masking tape or sellotape. Once I close it, I'll place it on fold. Can you see that? Okay, so once I place it on fold, I will now add another paper on there. Okay, and then I will fold like this. Now from the original waistline, I'll come down by maybe 4 inches, depends, you can do more than that. So I'll come down by 4 inches. Okay, then I'll use my curl drawer to draw the style line. So some Basque corset have very sharp style line, but this one is not sharp. I'll just curve it like that. So we're going to link it back to the original measurements like this. Okay, then that's the side seam. Then if you're adding seam allowance, let me show you how to do that. So you just add your 1/2 inch seam allowance and then like that. So this is how you're going to do it. Okay, so but let me just cut out on the original measurements. Okay, I always prefer to add seam allowance when I'm cutting the fabric. I don't know, that's me anyway. So this is how it looks like. Okay, so now we are going to further divide the pattern now into sections. Okay, though because the designer used a patterned fabric, we didn't really see the kind of style lines she used. We don't know how many style lines she did, but at least we have an idea. So I've divided it into sections like that. Then make sure you label it so that all the patterns don't get mixed up. So this is going to be F8, F7, F6, and of course F5. Okay, because the other part of the pattern is going to be labeled obviously. So once you label like this, you're going to cut out as seen in the picture. Did I say picture? Video. So you cut out like this, and then of course when you're done like this, you can now go ahead to transfer it to your fabric. So this is a Victorian Basque bustier. Yeah, it's a bustier. I'm not sure it's a corset, but it's a bustier. Yeah, so this is it here. You just cut everything out, and it's that simple, very simple. So when you get to this part, you have to be very careful. Just separate the sellotape, and then you have this. So you can see how easy peasy it came out. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comment section. Do not forget to follow, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you.